Hi there, my name is Joanna. Today we're going to be talking about building out templates within the Brightspace platform that can be pushed to your ePortfolio. So what I've done is I've created a custom form here in our forms area for ePortfolio, and what we can actually see is a few really cool features. So first what I'm going to do is just go through the template that I've created, and then I'm going to talk about all the different fields and how we can customize them for these specific forms. So the form I created for Missouri Valley College as you can see right off the bat, we have the first and last name. So these two fields are what we call system fields. So they will pick up information from the initiating user or whoever is logged into their specific ePortfolio. So for me, it's going to be Joanna. So that system information is automatically put in for us. We don't actually have to put in that information. So it's kind of like an autofill feature. What I've done is I've separated my information with a nice break that now breaks us into the patient information. So if we have somebody visiting our clinic, we have some key information that we want to fill out based on kind of what we've done. So we have a field for their name that is just a nice empty text box. We have a field for their age where we can, put in the age via either text, or we can do like a plus and minus approach as well. We also have the ability to incorporate drop down menus. So for the sex field, if we click on the drop down option, we have male, female. We can add, other things there as well as needed. For the race part of the form, I opted in to use a checkbox type of scenario. For that specific field, we can make it a drop down or just a text input as well. Of course, we're going to have the reason for the visit, right? So we can go into a little bit more detail here and let them know exactly what's happening, what the symptoms are, what our thoughts are. We also have a field for the subjective data, objective data, the assessment code. Now, granted, I don't know the code specifically, so I just when I entered it, when I was creating it, I kind of went through code 1, 2, and 3. But of course, we can name these codes whatever it is that they are. We can make them specific. We can have a multitude of them. There's no limit on the amount of fields we can add to this section. And of course, the plan of care looks a little bit different because the other areas are just plain text. So we're not actually expecting to have any sort of different text styles or different equations, things like that. I thought it would be interesting to have, a formatted text box available for the plan of care because we might want to add things. Perhaps we want to record a video for the plan of care of us speaking. Perhaps we want to link to some links. Perhaps we want to use the equation editor to maybe have something a little bit more specific for the RX we're filling out and things like that. So I figured that would be a really good place for a formatted text box rather than a simple text area. Again, so if we scroll to the top of the page, we can really customize each field for these forms. And again, these forms are being pushed out to ePortfolios for select people who would be needing access to that. So not only can we control the form and what's on it, we can also control who has access to it and when they need to submit it by, or when we can have things that are required as well. We can enforce things. So this is the edit form template area. So as you can see, I have a nice breakdown of all the different categories or subjects that I need to have kind of filled out on my form. I can simply add a system field like we had at first. So anything that we'd want to be incorporated from the initiating user's information or what's on the student information system. So we have the first and last name like I had at first because I want to see who is sending this information to me. And then as soon as we click on add a custom field, this is where we can start adding things like, race or age and things like that. We can make these fields required, and we can even choose the data type. Just like I had shown you in our template, we can actually see exactly if we want a drop-down list, if we want a checkbox, if we want a numeric input, date and time, information. We can even upload files. There can be an area for rubric evaluation as well, in that as well. So we can really choose exactly what information we want presented in our forms, and also how this data is going to be shown to us as well. We even provide you with what type of data should I choose. This area will just show you exactly what each data type means. It'll give you a nice breakdown of what this is used for and how it's going to be effective. Okay, so again, we really allow this form template for the ePortfolio to be very customizable. Again, these can be pushed out to users, and users can input information that we've selected for them. Definitely something we've done a lot with a lot of nursing colleges as well. Tends to be a requirement for ePortfolios and being able to submit this kind of information in a nice and organized way. So if there are any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Sebastian, and we can go over this in greater detail. But thank you so much for watching this presentation, and talk to you soon.